Hi, everybody, and thank you for joining us today. For today's webinar, we'll be going to take a deep dive into digital transformation and how to build a digital-first life science organization, as well as driving value from that data across the organization. There are many reports about what to expect within the life science sector. Here are some of the main focus areas, which probably are familiar to you. Of course, each organization focuses heavily on 2 or 3 main initiatives. For some, it may be dealing with supply chain or R&D or pricing and reimbursement. But most interesting and dynamic, perhaps, is digital transformation. There is an increase in the use of AI, digital twins, and SaaS-based platforms within life sciences that's shaping innovation, operations, and meeting and achieving higher revenues. Today, Iron Mountain is helping life science organizations achieve their growth initiatives and strategies. We've worked with the industry to identify the trajectory to which our clients are on and also identify how we best align with them. We found that the foundation is truly around information and data governance. What do I have? What do I do with it? What's the disposition? What's the retention? What's the liability? And of course, how do I drive value from that data? Accordingly, we've seen quite a bit of strategic consolidation. Headquarters being consolidated, work from home environments, and of course, mergers, acquisitions, and divestitures. Arguably, we are in the most fluid of industries when it comes to assets that are being acquired and divested almost daily. And with that comes an enormous amount of data. It can be in a paper format. It can be in a digital format. It could be sitting on a thumb drive or a hard drive or a tape. Then we need to understand, well, how can I take that through a digital transformation? What needs to be scanned? What needs to be scanned, declared, and destroyed? What's the disposition of that digital information, and how do we drive value from it, making it usable, accessible from anywhere in the world, and also creating a single source of truth? And of course, the outcome of this is how do we support your sustainability goals, achieving a carbon neutral type of environment by 2030, and how does this align with your organization's goals? First, it's important to note how digital transformation is making a huge impact in life sciences. 50% of organizations expect to adopt intelligent digital platforms by next year, and the ROI on such digital investments is already evident. What's more, digital transformation also has an impact on helping organizations achieve their sustainability strategies, as I just mentioned. Companies that do it well are seeing higher revenue growth. So, how do you start on your digital transformation journey? Well, first, let's look at how information lifecycle typically works today. Here is a common flow of information that we often see. There's a manual handling of paper, which can be costly and time-consuming. Indexing and classification is not automated, which can lead to overpreservation and wrong handling of information. Extracting data for downstream workflows can also increase the risk of errors. And finally, as we stated previously, information and data governance is not embedded in the process, leading to high risk of non-compliance, data integrity, and of course, process adherence. But on the other hand, here's how information lifecycle looks like undergoing a digital transformation within your organization. Instead of manual dependent workflows and processes, now there's a greater digitization, and even inbound data is accepted in a digital format. Classification and indexing is also digital with intelligent routing. The outputs allow for improved user experience and data accessibility everywhere and every time. Most importantly, information and data governance is embedded through the entire information lifecycle. The advantages are clear. reduce costs, improve data integrity and security, and resource allocation within your organization. How this classification, indexing, and intelligent routing works is through our true copy scanning solution, which Dan will present now. Dan, over to you.
Great, thanks. Yeah, so I will be going over the Iron Mountain True Copy scanning for life sciences. Over the last few years, Iron Mountain has really started to lead the way with our True Copy process, knowing that it's a requirement for a lot of our life science customers. So some of the challenges that we've seen recently with our life science customers is the continued reliance on paper, impending digital transformation, and increasing costs of storage. Also with operational inefficiencies from time-consuming processes that increase risk, documentation and validation protocols to ensure compliance with regulatory requirements, whether it's GXP, HIPAA, working with the FDA, and then lastly, security and access concerns to protect proprietary information and research and development investments. So with the Iron Mountain True Copy scanning, it is an accelerated digital transformation for our life science customers. With the data digitization, we provide high quality electronic copies of paper or electronic records with full metadata capture for a seamless information sharing and data that can be accessed based on your business rules. We also validate the data capture, meaning that through the process with our documented quality assurance, it allows for consistent reproduction and maintains the integrity of the original records. And lastly, with retention and governance, we can achieve greater retention, disposition, and governance with a role-based permissions and business rules to ensure we adhere to regulations. So how the Iron Mountain True Copy works is very similar to that of our current digital process. We will get the documents from our customers, they will provide a manifest of every file and all the boxes. So that way we have that chain of custody from the beginning to the end and making sure that every record is properly digitized and converted to an electronic form. With that, we have our document preparation. So here the documents are prepared according to your business rules and requirements and gets them ready for our document scanning, which has been proven as a validated process that maintains the integrity of the original document. Here, we work with our customers to either scan in black and white or color based on their requirements as well. After that, our documents go through a quality control process. So we do multiple quality control checks with a paper to image comparison for highly efficiency to make sure we match the original hard copy of the document with the electronic form, ensuring that every page has been digitized. After that, we do our classification and data capture. This is where we do a full indexing of the metadata, so it's easily searchable and rapid access within your system as well. This also includes a double key blind verification, meaning that we have one of our operators key all the information first, and a second operator keying the information second, and then the system matches it up and then rekeys anything that may have been missed. Then it goes through our governance and retention policies. This allows the ability to add any sort of retention or disposition policies or role-based permissions to ensure compliance and adhere to regulations. And then lastly, storage and access. So store and access from an Iron Mountain secure, encrypted repository, or even within your own applications. Cool. And then I'll turn it over to Frank now, who will talk about achieving efficiencies through the digital transformation.
Thanks, Dan. So how do we achieve efficiencies through digital transformation? Well, earlier we looked at how information lifecycle works today, and it becomes clear that without any type of digital investment or transformation, the costs are higher, and they'll continue to get higher as the volume of data grows at your organization. If we think about putting a box or a carton on a shelf, often we think of it as a linear cost, flat, but that's not the reality. The reality is that over time, There'll be transactional costs. There'll be transactional risks. There may be scanning that takes place. The box will be retrieved. There may be cost incurred with rush deliveries. The box may never make it back to the shelf, and therefore you have integrity issues and compliance issues around where that data is. And as we look at that, there's an increase in cost, not to mention the fact that it doesn't necessarily take advantage of the innovations, nor does it truly drive value from data the way that you're looking to evolve as an organization and accelerate your processes. So there's a huge burden on your operational resources. Conversely, by adding that digital capability, it certainly helps your organization reduce costs over time, as well as risk and drive value. The level of efficiency is truly dependent upon the investment that you're willing to take on your digital transformation initiatives. A lot of organizations decide to pursue a standard level of digitization, and sure, over time, cost decreases. But if you look at this as a truly digital-first environment and you run it through a true copy digitization process that's iron verified, you'll see that transformation will give you an increased or better efficiencies across your organization, truly resulting in cost savings, strong information governance, and enhancing security. It provides access to that data for that work and home environment or just working from anywhere. It also decreases the necessity to have a carbon footprint, as well as reducing any kind of transportation costs and the risks that are associated with just simply moving a box around. So if you think about that from the perspective of a merger and acquisition, a divestiture, an investigator site shutting down, what do I do with that data? How do I access that data? And by putting it in a digital repository and utilizing a digital first environment, you certainly will achieve an accelerated access to that data. So just to recap, as you can see, it's clear that a digital first environment and having that approach can drive greater value for your data. But that's just the beginning. Across the organization, you can accelerate innovation and reduce complexity, reduce risk, since the information governance and data governance is key component of your information lifecycle, reduce your operating costs, and of course, streamline your processes, and help to achieve those sustainability goals that are so important to all of our organizations. I want to thank you all for your time today. To learn more about Iron Mountain's life science portfolio of products and services, please visit ironmountain.com/life sciences. Thank you.